Rose,
Hello.
and and we are doing a tutorial video on how to make a Minecraft roleplay. This is part 2, so if you have not seen part 1 already, go to Tyler's channel and click his face, his little face, and it'll take you to that video. So, for those of you who have seen part 1, part 1, welcome to part 2, and we're gonna teach you how to actually do the roleplay in part of it, and give you some tips. So, so first, having a script or an outline, you don't have to have a script, is really important, because you don't want to go into it and you're like, alright, I'm doing episode 1, so what are we doing?
Don't do that.
Yeah, no. It's good to have a plan. It'll make things a lot faster, and
and much more simpler, and it'll also make your story a lot better if you have like a script and people know what to do and stuff.
Yeah, definitely. So, next is setting the scene. Before you start recording, you want to make sure everything is set up. All of your NPCs, all your buildings, if players are playing, all of their,
so like set up a sign, like a nice scene like this one. You just set it up and it looks nice.
And making sure all of your items in your inventory are the right items and all sorts of stuff like that. For academia, we have tons of items all the time, and so we always have to make sure that we have them all, and they always get deleted because we mess around too much.
You need to have like good recording software as well.
Yes.
Like, so there is free software like OBS. It has a lot of good features on it. We actually use Action. And me and Maddie both use that, but Maddie used to use OBS because I didn't know about OBS. I even looked it up when I first started recording, and it never came up for me as a free recording software, so I spent money. But I like Action because it's really HD, and it's really simple to use, and it's very clean looking. And also it has a bunch of different settings, but you can use whatever you want. Yours direct story, which I've been thinking about getting, or something else different.
Fraps.
Fraps. It basically depends what you're looking for, and in a recording software, I chose Action because I like the look of it and stuff, and it seemed to be really good.
Also, another part of actually recording is having a nice microphone. Sound is kind of key when it comes to these things. If you don't have good sound, people won't be as excited to listen to the roleplay, and a lot of storytelling has to do with your talking and the other kids talking. So if you don't have a nice microphone, there are ways to make a microphone sound nicer, such as being in quiet rooms, being in rooms with carpeting, flooring. You can take folders, like school folders, and put them around your microphone to make it like this, conceal the sound.
So make sure to get a good microphone. Maddie uses the Blue Snowball, right?
Yeah.
And I use the Audio-Technica AT2020 Plus. So they're both really, really good microphones, and I recommend them.
Yeah, and if you don't have money for that,
just stick with what you have.
Yeah, stick with what you have, and then if everything else is good, your story, your characters, people will reward you by watching your videos, and then you might in the future be able to afford to get one.
Yeah, because when I first started doing roleplay, I was actually recording off my webcam's microphone, which actually was pretty decent, actually.
So next is cutscenes. This is part of actually recording. So when you're recording a roleplay, there's two different ways you can do it. It's the traditional way of roleplay where you are playing as yourself, typically, or as the main character, and you are experiencing the world around you, such as NPCs, and also going on your little adventure. And then also there is taking that and using it in third person. You're no longer in first person, you are in third person, such as if Tyler was the main character, Tyler, go on the ground and walk. and he's walking towards Ariel to go have a conversation. This right here would be called a cutscene. You're seeing it from my perspective, and and not Tyler's. With cutscenes, I suggest using the F1. F1 to not have anything showing. Get a mod such as Camera Studio or Mind Camera, depending on Camera Studio is the best you can get though. That way you can like have really nice shots like Tyler has in his role plays, and you can make them look really nice. They're not necessary, but it just makes them look a whole lot better. Let's say you're ending a scene and you stop recording right after you say a line. That is an example of poor coverage. You should leave at least a couple seconds after you're finished. It can be giggling and laughing and stuff like that, but it just makes things flow better.
Yeah.
Tip. So now moving on to editing, which is a really hard but important part about role plays, especially if you're incorporating both cutscenes and regular role playing scenes in them. You want them to look nicer. You want to definitely use sound effects. Like I said before, sound is really key to a good role play. And you want the viewers to believe that they're really watching this world. The characters are really in this world, living in this world. So you want to have great sound effects. They're all over the internet.
For example, like if you had like a phone and it was ringing, you should add like the ringing sound effect for the phone.
Yes, of course.
Like just don't have it silent because, like you said, like because people go, that's not actually ringing.
Yeah.
The phone wasn't ringing. So like add it in, like add like those little effects in and stuff, like and crashing noises and boom noises, like add stuff like that if they are needed.
Yeah, and also ambience is really helpful, such as in my latest video, I have a waterfall and I was editing it and I was like, wait, it makes no sense to be next to a waterfall and have it completely silent in the background. It's like just not realistic at all. So I added in a waterfall.
So like if you're like next like to like an ocean or something, like have a little bit of an ocean sound or something. Like don't have it like too loud.
Yeah, birds and just to make it feel.
So like if you're in like a forest or something, like you can have, like, if you want, you can have like a little bit of a forest sound and stuff.
Yeah, so sound is definitely important. Another thing is this is optional. I do really fancy graphics and stuff, and titles and things like that with After Effects. Tyler has pretty good titles that he just makes with Photoshop, which is really simple.
Or like in my editor, you can do that actually. In my editor, you can make little titles and stuff, and some editors might not have that. Like if you're using Movie Maker, they don't have that. So like with editing softwares, there's like a bunch of different editing softwares,
True.
and the thing is, it can be hard to actually find a really good editing software, and they can also be very expensive. We would not recommend, if like you're just starting out on YouTube, we would not recommend like spending all your money on an editing software like straight away. You need to make sure people are watching you first.
Yeah,
because it can be like a waste of money in the end. If like all you're ever going to need it for is YouTube and like no one watches you, it'd just be a waste of money.
True. There are free things like Windows Movie Maker, iMovie if you have a Mac, or if you want to like record on a PC and then edit on a Mac. I used to do that.
Yeah, me and Maddie both have different editors, so we use different editors.
Yeah, I use Adobe Premiere Elements, which is the cheaper version of Adobe Premiere Pro. I also have Adobe Premiere Pro, but I just don't need I don't need a fancy editor for role plays as much as I need that for my actual film stuff. And also it takes up too much of my CPU. And Tyler, he uses, I don't know, what do you use?
I use Cyberlink Power Director 14.
Yeah, I've heard of that before. And
It is actually really, really good, and I'm used to it, so that's why I use it. I got 11 with my computer, Power Director 11, so I got really used to using it. So I bought Cyberlink 14, and it's really good editing software, and so is Adobe Premiere Elements.
yeah, definitely. But those are also like more than $30. So just
Yeah, so
um, so with filters and stuff and titles, you can make a and with editing, especially, you can make the role play your own. Your own style. Tyler has his own style to his role plays. I have my own style. I'm kind of leaning more towards the television style of role plays, to make it look like as if it was on
yeah,
television.
do a
Tyler
criminal.
has really classy
Yeah.
style of role plays.
Yeah,
Editing his
just
role
like
plays.
cup of tea with crumpet status role plays. Just sitting in the garden with the queen, having tea and crumpets, darlings. That's my style of role playing. Like, ha ha ha.
um, and
And
so
Maddie's the gangster.
I am. So of course, finally is uploading it to YouTube.
hmm
Um, so after part of uploading a video is having a really nice thumbnail. Tyler is
hmm
more the expert on thumbnails, but I will show you guys a quick little clip right now as you're watching me edit some thumbnails for Wizard Academia. And
Yeah.
we use Cinema 4D. There is Blender, which is free, and you can learn how to use how to make Minecraft rigs in Cinema
Yeah.
4D. I've even seen thumbnails where people draw 2D Minecraft characters, and they actually look pretty good. I'll put a picture right here.
Yeah. I
And
personally prefer Cinema 4D for Minecraft thumbnails, but you can do 2D, yeah.
yeah. So there are many different ways to do it, as long as there's a thumbnail. If it doesn't have a thumbnail, it just does not, like, people don't,
No.
like,
And
accept
make
it as a
sure,
real
like,
video.
yeah. So, like, there's a bunch of different software you can use for thumbnails. You can use Photoshop, Pixlr, whatever you want. Like what Maddie said, for the 3D part, there's Blender and Cinema 4D.
Yeah, so I'll put all of these softwares in the description. Everything will be in the description.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. So, don't forget when you, in the description, speaking of descriptions, don't forget to credit the players that helped you, even
Yeah.
including builders and everything. And don't forget to credit, if you use anyone's music, which you probably shouldn't. You should probably try and find, like, try and make your own music, but if you can't do that, try find there's YouTube has like an entire like library of free music that you can use.
Yeah. Some of YouTube's music is actually really good.
Yeah, and so don't forget to link it and credit everyone and everything that you use, including softwares and stuff.
And there's also like websites like Audio Micro or Audio Jungle where you can get music from, but the music can be very expensive.
Yeah, so
Like
if you
music
are
is
willing to
very
pay.
expensive. Like royalty free music is really expensive.
True. Oh well, royalty free.
Or
So, another way of, when you're uploading to get people to notice your roleplay is having social media really helps.
mm-hmm.
Twitter is my bae, and I use Twitter a lot to advertise. Advertising is okay. I don't know why people make such a big deal about it not being okay, but you're a content creator. You want people to watch your stuff, so
Yeah.
advertising.
Just don't
is fine.
advertise on other people's YouTube channels. 'Cause
Oh yeah,
people
definitely
really
no. Don't do that.
People really hate that.
So yeah, advertising on social media though is okay. I mean, spamming people definitely not okay. But
Yeah.
I always put myself on Twitter. There's Tumblr. Things travel fast in Tumblr. There's Instagram. There's Facebook. There's all sorts of social media. And that's one way to get your roleplay out there. Also, lastly, we want you to appreciate your viewers and the other roleplay community. We like to watch other role players and see how
Mhm.
they're doing. even like ask them if they want to help out or ever do collabs. And don't forget that if anyone gives you feedback that's like, oh, it's laggy, oh, there's bad sound, or I couldn't hear you, don't take too much offense to it. Honestly, a hater is someone actually that's going to help you improve with your role play. So if you really want to do role play, doing the research is and doing the work, you will be able to make a really good role play. And please link us to or tell us in the comments below if you have a role play that you want us to watch, and we'd be happy to do that, and leave our feedback in the comment of your video. So thank you guys so much for watching. We're really grateful to be in the roleplay community and have such great people giving us feedback, and we've learned so much in the last few months about roleplays. Thank you guys again for watching this video, and we'll see you next time. Bye!
Bah!
Mark, who did this to you?
It's okay, Sakura. He just broke his leg. He'll be fine.
No, I can't take this. My love is hurting, and I wasn't there for him.
Don't be so dramatic.
Shut up, Ariel! Can't you see I'm grieving?